Hello there, everybody. This is Brian Chrisman. Are you having a rough day? Do you need to have some fun? And you've come to the right place. All right. Well, after a prolonged absence through mostly our fault, we want to welcome back again to the show, Mr. Sal Abernathy. How you doing, Sal?
Jeez, man, who would have figured, right? I thought I was in witness protection at this point.
No. You know,
It's just you and I tonight. What is it? It's just the two Mavericks tonight.
Yeah,
or
it's
a room full of guys over there.
no, it's just you and I. Everybody else is a bunch of jagoffs tonight, and excuses.
I've been telling you that for years, and you finally listened to me.
That's correct.
What happened to everybody? Are they all just world-class jagoffs now, or what's going on?
No, you know, a lot of them aren't even in the area to get to the studio. You know, some just don't bother to respond to me. But hey, you know, I wanted to talk to you for the longest time, and you know, I wanted to get you on like after Comic-Con. I know you're tired, so I'm happy to have you on finally. Now, even if it's just me, because I could talk to you for forever, recording or not recording.
Yeah. No, I wasn't sure what was going on. People asked me, and people texted me, and I'm like, guys, I don't know, man. I know that the show has been in flux kind of for a while, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys moved on, different things happening.
Right.
And, you know, I just said, hey, when they ask me, I'll go on. It's real simple. It's not that complicated. There was no falling out. I think people thought we had a falling out.
Oh, goodness, no.
Well, you know, people like to turn everything into General Hospital. You know, they like to make it out to be, you know, fucking days of our lives. When the reality of it is, it's not nearly that complicated. It's just
Right.
People's lives people move on. People got shit to do.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, I saw. Well, we also got a lot of requests from our listeners when you could have Sal back on, and people. I know when we were talking to you, when you could have back on the show. So again, happy to have you on.
So what have you been doing, man? You keeping them staying out of trouble? You keep them busy or what?
Yeah, I'm just pretty much just laying low. It's summertime here in PA, and it's, you know, god awful. Not as bad other places, but it's as hot and it's relaxing. Getting ready. I'm actually going to a convention in Connecticut next week. I'm gonna head up there my first time. I'm sort of cleaning out my things. I'm setting up actually at a toy show next month, so I'm trying to get all that stuff organized. So just a lot of little things and things like that.
Now, sex toys, dildos and shit, or regular toys?
No. Just, you know, regular
plastic fist. Shit that Brian left when he moved. And,
no, just some old action.
Gambit butt plugs and all that sick shit he used to have, or what?
No, just some action figures, you know, superhero toys, some sports toys, just things I just bought when I would buy almost everything I saw that was, you know, either Batman or Justice League, and just.
Isn't it amazing how that shit accumulates over time?
Yes.
I mean, when I finally had to sell, we had to finally clear out my mom's house because she had to move to a retirement community because, you know, she just couldn't live in the house by herself anymore. It's like you turn around and it's like Chicago Public Library. You got so much shit and so much stuff you picked up over the years, and half of it you don't even remember why or how.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what the fuck am I doing with Hunchback of Notre Dame dolls and shit like that? And, you know, Boba Fett. cookie jars and fucking Jar Jar beans and sick shit that people gave you, and then you just throw it in the corner. You throw it in the closet, you throw it upstairs, and then over the years you go, my God, what am I doing with all this shit? You know, back issues of People magazine. My mother had fucking 20 years worth of TV guides.
Oh man!
You know, with BJ and the Bear on the cover. And, you know, I'm like, what the fuck? You know, Mom, what are you doing with all this shit? She's like, you didn't throw out my TV guides, did you? I'm like, Mom, they don't make TV guide anymore. All right, there is no more TV guide. I don't know what to tell you. The Jackie Gleason Variety Hour is not on TV anymore. You know, I love it. She had TV guides with fucking I Love Lucy on the cover.
Well, now, I mean, if you're serious about that kind of stuff, those are actually kind of pricey and collectible.
Well, not the way she had them.
We're
not talking about she bagged and boarded them. I mean, we're talking about half of them she used for the fucking insulation in the side of the building. You're like, Mom, you got to throw some of this shit out because you got to a point where there was just, you know, I think old people, they just don't want to throw shit out. Some kind of a fear that, you know, and not even that it's going to be worth something someday. You just want to throw it. They don't want to throw anything away. It's the children of the depression bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're like, I'm not kidding. It took me almost a year to clean that house out.
Oh, wow.
Well, you don't know what to do with it. You're like, what am I supposed to do with this stuff? You know, you don't want to throw it away, you know, out of respect, but yet you're like, Ma, I don't have anywhere to put all this shit. I really don't. You know, my house with the kids and everything, I got no room, man. My life is not my own anymore. You think you're a jagoff. You should see what it's like over here.
Yeah, I saw. Who knew that you have now an 8-year-old son?
Right?
Yeah.
Go figure. How the fuck am I still alive after 8 years of this? I mean, it's like doing a stretch for armed robbery having an 8-year-old son. 8 years old, man. Go figure. So am I going to see you at any shows in the future, or just the local stuff?
Well, I mean,
I didn't see anybody at Comic-Con this year, any of the Geek Speak guys.
No, well, we didn't make it out there. I did see a couple people took pictures with you. Actually, one of our listeners, I think her name was Julie Benson, posted a photo of, she was like really excited to meet you at a Comic-Con.
She's very hot.
Oh, yeah?
Julie, I didn't say anything to her in person, but I would give it to her very hot. She's very, very hot. I mean, I'm there, and she couldn't tell because I was wearing a suit, but I had a boner when I was talking to her. And if she's listening, I got like maybe 8 out of 10 would, you know, like in the Hustler gauge of how they gauge porno movies. Very hot. And I thought it was all bullshit. I thought maybe I owed her money from high school or was a student loan agent to collect. So when she came and she said some shit about Geek Speak, I thought, what? Oh, my God. But, yeah, I guess she's a writer. Real super, super nice. She was very talented. She was there with her sister. And, you know, I was hoping they wanted to make a sandwich, but they just wanted to say hi. And they said, hey. I figured I was too much of a greaseball. I said, you know, fuck this guy. And kept going.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And have you met her? Do you know her?
No. She just posted a picture on our forums of you at Comic-Con and said some very nice things. And it's like, well, that's very cool.
Yeah, she's one of the 6 people that like me. So I figured, what the hell? You know, everybody else, they think you're just... Pretty much, you see, the problem with me is that pretty much I live up to everybody's expectations. They expect me to be this loud, gregarious, you know, greaseball, and that's pretty much what you get. You know, when they meet me, it's not like I turn out to be Otto Preminger or I'm like F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm pretty much the jagoff that I sound like on the phone. But most of the fans are always super nice.
Yeah. But, no, actually... I was going to say, I actually made it out to C2E2, but I guess we just sort of missed each other at the show. I know you weren't actually really set up there, but... No,
you know, the problem with C2E2 for me was I've been in between gigs so much now with my own stuff because I've just been ass deep with you know, everything to do with Alex because we're you know, 2016, the end of 2016, 2017 now, we're making, you know, big, huge changes with Alex Ross Art because we're going into, we're going to be doing licensing now because we just signed a huge licensing deal with Apple Records. and with Warner Brothers and with Marvel. So we're going to be actually producing the lithographs and the giclées and the canvases and all that now, starting in 2017.
Oh, nice.
So that's the good news. The bad news is I'm trying to ride 3 horses with one hand. So I don't know where I'm going to have all the time for this. But, we just figured it's the time to do it. Alex has been working for, has been working with the licensors for the, the canvas prints and the giclées and the high-end stuff, posters for Warner Brothers since back when they had the Warner Brothers stores, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And we just figured, there was a lot of cool stuff he really wanted to do over the years. It just never came together for creative differences. And I just said, look, man, if we're going to do this, now's the time to do it. So, Chris Roop has been my partner for a long time. He's going to help me out with it. And so we're going into that, and that's the good news. The bad news is it's just like I just don't know when I'm going to have time to do anything. But, when you got a family, and you got a mortgage, and you got, G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip and My Little Pony and all the rest of the sick shit you got to pay for, you turn around and you're just hemorrhaging. There's not enough left at the end of the day to do anything. So, what the hell, Pants? I figure now's the time to do this stuff. So
yeah. But yeah, I've seen Alex Ross. I mean, I've seen stuff. He's doing that stuff from you mentioned Apple, of course. I've seen these Beatles things he did for Yellow Submarine and individual pictures, and of course the covers for Secret Wars and like the new Marvel, all different Marvel covers. Yeah,
he's been keeping busy, man. I mean, it's good because I wanted to get him doing more. He did a lot of the Golden Age stuff for the last few years, which it was stuff that he wanted to do. It was stuff that he was fond of, but, it wasn't particularly what the fan base was asking for. So the relationship with Marvel has been terrific. I mean, they could not be nicer.
That's good.
It's like a honeymoon. Yeah, I mean, they're letting him, do whatever he wants, and everything has been, he's doing the Squadron Supreme covers now. He's doing the new Spidey covers. He's doing, Avengers. The new Avengers lineup, and just going to be doing a ton more stuff in 2017 and rounding out the year. So he's been really busy. But that with the Beatles stuff, we have a Beatles portrait series coming out in probably right around the beginning of the year, and then we're going to be doing more stuff with we're trying to negotiate some stuff with the Universal Monsters licenses. For the classic monster series. A Wolfman and Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. That's fun. It's just stuff that he really, really wants to do. Stuff we grew up with, the black and white movies, feature stuff. And I don't know. I don't know if anybody out there cares anymore about that stuff, but I know that my generation was kind of that was it to that stuff. The window's kind of closing, but he wants to do it, man. So I said, then I think it's a good idea for us to do it. So.
Very good. Yeah, I saw I think you were in Las Vegas for something with the Beatles. Was that like a Cirque du Soleil kind of thing?
Well, they have a when you get into licensing, it's just like it's a full blown prison rape. You got to get into it, and you got to there's a lot more paperwork, and you got to do. But we met with the Apple representatives, the guys from New York and the guys from London, because the Cirque du Soleil show at the Mirage is the only officially licensed Beatles store and Beatles show, and it's embarrassingly smooth. I can't believe how cool and a lot of times you have to say that at lip service, but man, oh man, the relationship with Apple has been so great in terms of how because Alex is a huge Beatles fan to begin with, so it wasn't much of a stretch when the opportunity came along to work on the Beatles stuff. So it's been great, and we're gonna unveil these Beatle portraits at the beginning of the year, and so far they're just terrific. I mean, we're really to start to be able to go into licensing and to start at the top with the Beatles is just the coolest thing. They're like the gold standard, for rock bands.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a huge Beatles fan as well. And
I don't know, Pants. I mean, so am I, but you never know nowadays. The generation's different. You wonder, how much the world has changed since we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder, how many people still follow the Beatles. The people, versus the radio isn't what it used to be.
Right.
Popular music isn't what it was. The business has changed dramatically, and I'm like, I don't know. I know growing up when I was a kid, the Beatles were gods.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I know comics. So when we got involved with the licensing stuff with Apple, I wasn't sure, what it was going to be like out there, because it's kind of the baby boomers that followed, that kind of where the Beatles still kind of, that generation was, that was their music, that was their soundtrack. So I don't know. I mean, I want to believe that people are going to go nuts for it, but we just got to wait and see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I'm very much looking forward to that. And
yeah, it's kind of like me with Starsky and Hutch. You never know if anybody gives a shit about Buzzy Bear anymore.
That's right. Everything old is new again. There's all kinds of resurgences for everything. It's cyclical.
Yeah, well, you want to believe that, Pants. But when you go to cons and people start talking about old comics and they start talking about Spawn, and you're like, wait a minute, that to me, that's not old comics.
Mm-hmm.
The golden age, the silver age stuff that we grew up with, you wonder how many people still care about that stuff. Where's the fall off?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I mean, you want to believe that people like the same shit that you do, but you never know until you actually get out there.
Yeah, but everything is somebody's favorite. Just finding old stuff is always coming back. I mean, I'm an old soul myself. I mean, I was born in '69, but I love all that old stuff, and I always try to pass it on to people, whoever I'm talking to, about, hey, check this out. And
yeah. Well, like I said, we're real excited about it, man. And Alex couldn't be more into it. But sometimes that's a good thing because at least I told him, I said, look, man, you're at the point in your career where you should do what you enjoy. And not worry about it so much, about how it's going to be received, because, he still has a lot of comic stuff in him that he wants to do, but it's also nice to diversify a little bit. Try doing different stuff, try different things, because, you can only do so many, Hawkeye getting cornhole, so many times, and then you got to try and move, pull into something different. When he did the Star Wars cover, he was very excited about the Star Wars covers, but after 5 or 6 Star Wars covers, you just wonder how many, he's like, I don't know how many more of these I got in me.
Mm.
So, and then now I see they got Simone doing Star Wars, which... Oh, yeah? Well, yeah, I guess he's filling in for Cassidy.
Okay.
Cassidy, I think, drinks too much, but, he's Irish, so that's going to happen. But, I've always, I always worry about a lot of the Italian guys because they're not as familiar with the American characters as we are.
Mm-hmm.
So... Especially Simone, because Simone, he hits the grappa a little bit too much with the limoncello, and you wonder what Luke Skywalker's going to look like. He might look like Caruso. But, I'm sure he'll be glad to hear that. But I don't talk that much to Simone anymore. He's a family man now, and we try to communicate online a little bit. But same with Buzz. I saw Buzz in San Diego. We hung out a little bit. But, I don't know, man. It's strange. And as you get older, your friends, people move on, and you don't have the same kind of relationships anymore.
Yeah,
everybody.
So it's even tough with doing the show here, trying to get enough people together. But we're still friends. We still have a good time, but it's tough getting everybody together. So you have to go to them sometimes. Like I've been in a couple of contacts. I've seen Buzz. I saw Buzz a couple of weeks ago at a convention in New Jersey.
Yeah, Buzz is getting like that fucking Roto-Rooter, man. He's everywhere. We were talking about it. He said it's kicking his ass. It's a lot of travel. I can't do as many shows as I used to because of the family. I used to do at least 2 a month, and I can't anymore because I got, the kids are older now, and I'm like a taxi cab. I'm always picking somebody up and dropping somebody off, and they're not all conducive with being shows that are worth it. I mean, Lord knows there's a show every weekend.
Oh yeah.
But you got to be honest, Pants. How many there's shows, and I hear how great a lot of these shows are. Boston and Salt Lake and Denver and all these shows that everybody's always pimping. But I'm like, you making any money?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ultimately it has to come down to that. when you're an exhibitor and you're doing a lot of traveling,
Right.
and you're spending a lot of your own dough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I'm not these artists that are getting everything picked up. That are getting their expenses picked up. So I like to try out new shows. I like to give things a chance and see how it works. But not all these shows are worth doing because you got a lot of money going out the door with the signatures and the three hillbillies from Walking Dead, charging $100 for some asshole with a crossbow. So you never know. The average guy that goes to a con, how much money do they have? And after they pay for Tootie, or they pay from the broad from What's Happening, you pay $50 for her head, for her autograph, or the guy from Romper Room. How much money they got left to buy, fucking back issues of Devil Dinosaur?
Uh-huh.
and no, a lot of guys in artists are complaining. They're saying, listen, it was a great show, it was crowded, but they didn't make any money.
Yeah.
So. And you hear them online crying about it, and it's like, it's real simple, man. Every show is not worth doing.
Right.
There's some shows that are worth checking it out, and then there are other shows worth setting up, and then there are other shows where it's like, there's just too much competition. How the fuck are you going to make money when you got Carrie Fisher, or the broad from Silver Streak, showing her tits and, charging $50?
Yeah.
The broad, or is it Silver Spoons? Yeah, the broad from Silver Spoons.
Oh, yeah, Aaron Gray.
Yeah, Aaron Gray's still very hot.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I saw her at a con, and I said, Jesus Christ, look at this.
Well, she's actually represents a lot of those celebrities.
Yeah, no, it's I was talking with Sam Jones at Comic-Con.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Oh, nicest guy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Super nice. And he still does the shows, and he still keeps his day job, and he was in TED, I guess, and TED 2, and,
mm-hmm.
He keeps himself busy, still looks good, and, but other than that, Comic-Con was the same old Comic-Con, man. It was a great year. It was a great turnout. I don't know if you saw any of the coverage of it. I don't get to see shit when I'm there.
Yeah, I know, because you're in the eye of the storm.
Well, I hear about all the cool shit. I saw what was going on at the Warner Brothers booth with the guys from Justice League or whatever. I saw the broad that's playing Israeli broad that's playing Wonder Woman.
Right.
And what was the other one? The Lois Lane broad.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it seems like it's. I mean, I've seen the trailers. Everything looks cool. You want it all to do well, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I've heard good, even with Ant-Man, I've heard good things about Ant-Man.
Right. Now, with the Alex Ross booth, are you still across from Marvel booth at Comic-Con?
Yeah, but they had a real low profile this year. They didn't do a lot. They did a little bit of promoting with Ant-Man through Marvel Films, but they didn't have a lot of cast there. They had some creators, but for the most part, they kind of played a low profile this year because they didn't really have a lot to promote. They didn't have a lot to pimp because Avengers had already, come and gone. Mm-hmm. And last year they did the big thing with the Avengers cast. And so no, it was. I mean, it was crowded. It was business as usual. They had some celebrities, although I'm old. Pants. I don't know who the hell these people are. I mean, when some asshole goes up there from, the Facts of Life or something, I don't know who the fuck that is. I mean, I have no idea. There's so many cable shows now that Game of Thrones, I have no clue.
Oh boy!
I have not watched one episode. And people look at me like I'm crazy. And I know the midget. I know the small guy. That's all I know. And I know the broad that shows up with her tits hanging out once in a while. Other than that, I know nothing. I mean, I don't even pretend to know anything. Walking Dead, sure. But then you see the guys that are started, and they all got English accents that pisses me off. Because I think, why the fuck don't they hire Americans to play American hillbillies?
Right.
It makes no sense to me. Why we got to go to the UK to get guys to play hillbillies? Like, we don't have any assholes in Alabama that are out of work. That you can't just say, hey, why not? And now I guess they got the new one coming out where they're in L.A.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead, I believe.
Fear the Walking. Yeah, they had a big thing there, and it looks good. I'm sure it'll be crazy successful, but I don't know how much longer the zombie thing's got.
Yeah. But being right across from the Marvel booth, didn't they have anything for their all new, I mean, they're redoing their whole universe. Didn't they have anything for the comics there at all?
No, not a lot. I mean, they promoted. I mean, they had the Secret War stuff. They did a lot, and I'm sure they'll do a lot in New York in October.
That's true, right?
But I saw a little bit, and I saw some creators they had there, and they had, you know, the promotional shit where they were, you know, throwing T-shirts and keychains and all that, and you know, the assholes are jumping up and down like they're going to get laid, you know, for a 50-cent keychain. And but other than that, no, there wasn't anything, you know, out of the ordinary that really created too much of a shitstorm. The Justice League cast really created a shitstorm.
Oh, yeah.
They tried to bring them. They tried to bring them down on the floor to sign for like a half an hour or whatever it was, and it was just a big publicity stunt. But it worked. I mean, they got all the press they wanted, and you know, but it turned the, you know, the con floor into a madhouse. And but other than that, man, it's I guess they re-signed. I guess they're good till 2018.
Right.
You know, they're going to stay in San Diego until they you know, claim they're going to move to Las Vegas again, or I don't know, they're going to go to Toledo, or they claim they're going to move it to. And in the end, it's like they're not going anywhere. It's a perfect storm.
Yep.
You know, at San Diego. Why the fuck would you want to leave San Diego?
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
It's like having a girlfriend that constantly wants you to, you know, constantly brings women home. You go, I don't know, honey, I'm tired of this. You know, I don't want that. Stop bringing home these hot broads, will you? Please, leave me alone. You know, I want to go to Toledo and you know, sweat it out because there's not enough hotel rooms. I always love the bullshit rationale on why they're moving. You know, there's not enough hotels. It's like, guys, there's nothing but hotels in San Diego. Honest to God. I don't know where, you know, yeah, if you try to get a room in June, you know, there's no hotel.
Yeah.
You know, people bitch, oh, I can't get a hotel. And it's like, yeah, I know the lottery system and all that bullshit, you know, but it's Comic-Con, man, and that's how it is. It's going to always be a shitstorm. And that's why it's not, you know, the show in Rosemont, you know, what Wizard turned into. Wizard turned into a pig fuck, you know, where it's three assholes selling Sticks belt buckles. You know, that's all it is now. You know, only missing is sawdust on the floor. You know, at the show at Rosemont. I swear to God, I took my son a couple of years ago, and it was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. I swear to God. Man. I don't know what happened to it. It used to be such a great show.
Yeah, yeah.
And they let that show, that Wizard show, just go to shit. I mean, it used to be, you know, for years that was a great show. You know, and it's amazing what it's turned into.
Yeah,
I may as well be selling fucking Tupperware, that show.
But I mean, there always seem to be crowds there. It's, you know, whether it's celebrities or whatever.
What define a crowd?
Well,
I mean, you know, they've always been famous for skewing their numbers, saying there's 60,000 people.
Well,
there's 60,000 people that are like I'm 150 pounds. I mean, there's no fucking 60,000 people there. And in the end, the problem with you know, with the show isn't just, see, because I have no bone to pick with Wizard. It's just that the problem with the Wizard show is they promote it as a regular Wizard show, but yet you go there and it's predominantly signatures. It's predominantly movie stars that are selling their autograph, and then there's no publishers anymore. Mm-hmm. There's no real exhibitors anymore. There's not even guys selling, you know, with the quarter boxes, you know, with the long boxes anymore. Those guys even pulled out.
Yeah.
Because there's just no money in it anymore, but yet they still hit you up, you know, they still promote it and advertise it as the same show, and then you get there and you realize this isn't the same show that we went to. I mean, there's the same 10 Beatles that go for cosplay, because they want to see some broad Bush dressed up as Ms. Marvel. I mean, I get that, but you know, at some point you got to say, hey guys, there's just nothing going on here with this show.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they don't ask me, so what do I know?
Yeah. But at least, you know, at Comic-Con, you get to see so many people you might not see at other shows. But then, of course, you see guys like Tiz there with you all the time. It's all the pictures of you and Tiz smiling and everything, all dressed in suits and ties.
Yeah, well, you know, Tiz, yeah, I love Tiz, but, you know, there is no big, let me say this in all truth, there is no bigger selfie whore on the planet than Tiziano. I swear to God. Every time I turn around, he's taking a picture of himself smoking a cigarette, caught a fart, standing in the corner, playing with himself. I mean, I go, Tiz, where are you going with all these? He takes more selfies than like 3 teenage girls. I swear to God. But he handled the Sienkiewicz booth this year with flying colors. He did a great job. It's still run a little bit like a lemonade stand where people write shit down on paper instead of doing actual real documentation. But we're moving in that direction. We're moving towards 18th century technology at this point. So we're going to use a fucking abacus next time, I swear. But it worked out great. Sienkiewicz was terrific as always. Tiz did a great job. He brought a friend with him, Lauren, who was terrific. She was just like, I guess, he met her at Dallas where they're doing the Dallas show, and we invited her out to work with us. And she was fantastic. And the girls that worked for me this year, Carrie and Lexi, and it just didn't work. I couldn't be luckier with the people I got working with now. And Maddie and Roop and Justin, the hillbilly undertakers.
Yeah.
They look like hillbilly undertakers. And it was, the thing about cons, and you know this, Pants, is that no news is good news.
Mm-hmm.
There's no drama. There's no three-finger Megillah. There's no fucking glory holes. There's no Roman helmets. Grumpy Munchkins and shit. I'm too old for that shit. Throwing furniture out windows and, three-finger Megillahs and all that sick shit that goes on, the Cincinnati bow ties and the Benoit balls. I got no time for it anymore. I want things nice and quiet. I want things to just, you go, you just set up, you get raped, and then you go home. That's all I want out of Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. And too often, too many years, whether it was my asshole nephews or Jesse or one of these other guys, up to some bullshit, where they raise your blood pressure, that you just you walk around and you go, what am I doing? I must be out of my fucking mind. I can't take this shit anymore. So the best thing I ever did was just get, these 3 girls, or 3 college girls, and they're terrific.
That's good.
And it's like no drama. No fucking drama. Because I'm too old. And I can't take it anymore. And I can't walk around and play Bob Guccione with the robe on and the pipe and the slippers. I just can't. It's like who's got time for that shit? You want to rock around and play Buster Hyman. I can't do it. I just can't. I don't have it in me anymore. I don't. With Simone, with the porno movies, and Jesse with the medical marijuana. Who the fuck's got time for that shit? They go to Comic-Con too often, and it's like the Boy Scout Jamboree on the Flintstones, where they're singing in different languages. Who's got time for that? I'm trying to get out of there in one piece, and every time I turn around, there's some asshole calling me, or somebody did something, or somebody got a toe in their ass, or somebody shit in the jacuzzi, or it's always some bullshit. Someone got stopped through security at the airport with a cock ring on, or somebody got wax on their ass and got burned, and they call me at 3 in the morning. And I just don't have the fucking time. I want to get in and out, and I want things nice and quiet.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
Too often, there's just been way too much daisy chain action going on at that time. And I'm not mentioning any names.
No, that's fine.
No, Tiziano. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
That's right. Oh yeah, he's. I see him all the time now. I saw him in HeroesCon, North Carolina, back in June, traveling for doing the Fan Expo thing.
I know he's. His role with Fan Expo has expanded.
Yeah.
And they're good people, man. They run Dallas. They got Dallas now, and I'm sure they'll turn it into a great show. And that's some of the people that, he's working with. I met some of them because I know Amon still works, with them, but I think he sold the show to a company kind of like Reed, I guess, the Fan Expo show, and the one in Vancouver, and then I guess you got the one in Dallas, and they're nice people, man, and they'll do a great job. I'm sure that Toronto show is still tops.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can make it this year. I just got way too much shit going on with the family and with business, but that's always been one of my favorite shows. It never disappoints. And Dallas, that's another one I'd love to do. I just don't have the time. Vancouver, I went to a few years ago. It's terrific. All the Canadian shows, man, I'm telling you, are terrific. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, Calgary, I went to a couple of years ago, and it was great. And I've heard it's gotten even bigger, since I stopped going. Jim, he sold the Seattle show to Reed.
Yeah.
And which kind of surprised me because I know that show was his baby. But that's another great show.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that show only got bigger.
Yeah.
The Seattle show. After that, I don't know. I heard good things about Boston last weekend. Buzz told me he went to Denver and he really liked it. Of course, probably the medical marijuana had something to do with it. But New York is always New York.
Yeah.
But you get your ass kicked in New York, man. It's a heavy duty show, man. You really gotta be ready, to have your nuts dragging on the ground after that show. That one, that's the 800-pound gorilla, man, that New York show.
Are you going to New York this year in any capacity at all?
Yeah. I mean, I set up for about 12 years in New York, and then I stopped doing it because we just had a lot of clients that. The problem with New York was it just got a little bit too successful, and it got really crowded, but in a bad way. People were complaining they couldn't get in, they couldn't get in fast enough. It was too crowded. I had to go shit in the toll lot.
That's right.
You couldn't get in. I mean, it's good problems to have.
Right.
But it's half the size of Comic-Con with just as many people. Mm-hmm. So I had clients saying, man, I don't want to go because, it's too crowded and I can't get in. So I go and I meet with a lot of clients, one-on-one, and I have a chance to sit with them and talk and go out to dinner and meet people. Because at Comic-Con, it's like an airport, man.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You can't really talk with anybody because everybody's so busy. And, you're like the midget at the orgy. You just got to keep your head up and hope, someone doesn't stick their dick in your ear. You got to try to... You gotta try to keep it together. And I just go and I meet with clients and I get just as much done. Just as much money. I mean, that's not cheap, that's for sure.
Right.
Expensive show. And so I go in and meet with people and it works out great. Good time of the year, football season just starts. I usually come back and then pants don't fit anymore. I got the hot pastrami and all that craziness. And then there's Lucca.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just, that's all the way in when you do Lucca.
Yep.
That's sand in the Vaseline right there. There's no halfway about Lucca. Last year we thought it was bad, and then last year just topped everything that we'd ever seen. I mean, I'd never seen anything that crazy in all my life.
Wow.
I mean, there's 450,000 people last year.
Oh my God! Well, that's right.
It was. Yeah, I mean, the first couple of days, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's like, okay, it's a good vibe. You can tell it's crowded. It's a crazy successful show. But then on the weekend, forget it, man. Saturday and Sunday, it was like the Indy 500. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't walk. The crowd shots. It was just you walk out the tent and you turn around and you go right back in because you couldn't walk. Mm-hmm. There's just too many people. I mean, I haven't seen that many greaseballs since like Mussolini got taken down. It was unfucking believable. And it was great. But then, it's funny because the next day, Sunday night, back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
But the amazing thing about Comic-Con, all of them now, is they've become such a huge part of our culture, with the media coverage and pop culture, that so many people go down just to see what's going on.
Right,
They don't even have tickets.
That's right.
That's what you got at San Diego, where you got 20,000 people down in the gas that just come down just to people watch.
Yeah.
You know, just to see what all the coverage is about and all the craziness about it. You know, and or to see the cosplay.
Yeah.
You know, and to see you know, and it's the same way at Lucca. You had a shitload of people. Only half of them had tickets. The other half were just walking around going, "Hey, you know, where can I buy a loaf of bread and some salami?" That was it. Did anybody see my Caruso records? That was all they were. You know, that was it.
Well, now you mentioned football. How are the Bears going to look this year?
I don't know, man. Hey, we got a new coach. We got a new everything now.
Yeah.
We got that John Fox guy, you know, from Denver, and you know how it is when you got new coaches. But then again, we were horrible the last couple of years anyway. We had this other asshole we brought in from Canada, so you know what that tells you, you know. And this guy fucked up a 2-car funeral. I mean, completely, you know, this Trustman, this guy we had, and
oh yeah,
and they were just really bad, man. I mean, you're just. I mean, defensively bad, couldn't throw the ball, couldn't run the ball, couldn't do shit. And so I don't know. In the end, it's forget about the Super Bowl, man. It's just about the division.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to worry about beating those assholes from Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and after we get past those assholes, then we got to worry about the rest of the NFC. But there's a lot of other teams, man. They're in the same boat we are. You know, there's a lot of shit teams out there. So. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping that I think it's a rebuilding. So you know how rebuilding is. It takes a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know. But now you're what? The Eagles, right?
Yeah. We got Chip.
Well, you guys got about 17 quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like that. It's like, oh my god, because we even have Tim Tebow now.
Brought that guy back?
Yeah.
I thought he was selling Storm with that at this point. What the fuck did you do with him?
I don't know.
Tebow.
Yeah.
Jeez. I thought he was working on that book at Image.
I don't know. It's just I can't get too.
You got a good coach. I like Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's you love him or you hate him, but you got to like at least the aggressiveness of what he's doing. You know, the innovative kind of approach. But he's only going to get so much slack in Philly before they run his ass out of town. They're not very forgiving over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's his third season, and haven't won a playoff game yet, so they're trying to get over that hump.
Playoff game? Shit. We're just trying to get in that. We gave up 50 points 3 times last year.
Oh, my God, that's right.
mean, yeah, they look like fucking St. High School. It's terrible. I mean, 50 points. You know what it takes to give up 50 points? You got to work real hard to give up 50 points. You really do. I mean, it's like a team made up of fucking Canadians at this point. I mean, that's how bad it was. I mean, 50. We got our ass just thoroughly handed to us last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll see because, when a new guy takes over, there's still a lot of guys he wants to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure most of that team he wants to get rid of. But, there's some contracts we got to eat, like Cutler and different guys. They're under long-term deals. And you can't just send them packing, unless you're going to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think as long as we're competitive and we're not, I mean, we can't be any worse than we were last year, man. Last year was, I mean, you fucking turned it off. You got up to take a piss. You came back. We're down 24-0. I'm not kidding. I mean, it was like watching fucking water polo. It was so bad. And it's a bear town. I mean, regardless of what you hear with the Bulls and the Blackhawks and all that bullshit, I mean, it's a football town.
Mm-hmm. So
the city comes and goes by the Bears. And when they're bad, then it's like the city. They're like in the air in Philly, man. They live and die with football.
Yeah. But the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup again this year.
Blackhawks won, yeah. Go figure. And then like the last time, as soon as the season's over, we got to get rid of half the team. Because it's salary cap shit. So, yeah, I'm a big hockey guy, so it was exciting. It was a great run. And I don't know. I think again we we finally got a good organization. The guys that own the team are running it the right way. But for a lot of years, man, it was a train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's exciting. It's good for the city. I mean, I see a lot of assholes jumping on a bandwagon.
Uh-huh.
You know, when you see Mexican guys jumping up and down, go Hawks, you know something's going on. You know? I mean, everybody jumps on a bandwagon all of a sudden with the Hawks. And it killed me when I saw you see like the parade, and you see assholes down there that have no idea what hockey is, none whatsoever. But they're just like, yeah, go for the Blackhawks. Yeah, okay, that's great. They don't even fucking have ice where half you assholes live. and you're talking about Cole Hawks.
Now, did you go to any of the games?
Yeah, you know, I used to be able to see the tickets, and then when I got married, I gave them up because my wife could give a shit about hockey, and you know, I wound up giving most of them away because I couldn't find anybody to go. And then now my son, I took him to a couple of games, but you know, he's at that age where they're more interested in the souvenirs than the actual game.
Right.
So you spend most of the game in the fucking gift shop buying stuff. You know, like, guys, there's a game going on.
Yeah.
And when I go with my wife, she gets up to take a leak and comes back in the third period. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, you know, I may as well watch it on TV because nobody wants to go. So I really would go more if my kid was into it, but I think he's still at the age where I don't know how into it he is. You know, he says he's into it, but I think, you know, it's hard to get, you know, it's at his age, you know, the attention span is like, you know, like Tiziano. It's not much. Well, no, what about you, man? Now, I didn't know you were a sports guy. Are you or not really?
Well, I used to be really big into it, and I sort of come and go with it. You know, I used to be a huge baseball fan, but actually back when they canceled the World Series in 1994, I sort of fell off the baseball love train at that point. I still catch a couple games every now and then, but I enjoy watching football. I'm not rabid about it. I like to see the Eagles do well, but I don't live or die with the Eagles. But and you know, hockey I can enjoy. I'm not really into basketball, but
yeah, and the Phillies haven't been doing so high, right?
Phillies I think the worst team in baseball, I think. And they had a fire sale recently. They got rid of.
You had a good run there. Didn't you have a good run for a while?
Yeah, bad. 2000, of course, won the series in 2008, and then went back in 2009, lost to the Yankees. But then they've sort of been going down since then. And they have a lot of guys who are just getting long in the tooth, and you know, not getting the new players to replace them. So it's been a really bad year this year.
I don't know, man. I don't feel sorry for you guys. You guys got to. I mean, it's a crazy sports town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys. It's a lot like Chicago, man. It's a rabid sports town. I mean, you know, it's like I remember when the Hawks played the Flyers finals. It's like it's insane. But you didn't dare, you know, go to the Spectrum with a Hawks jersey on. You come out there and I'll hand you your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been known as, you know, crazy sports town.
Now, are you a Cubs or a White Sox fan for baseball?
Oh no, there's nothing on the South Side. There's no such thing. There's nothing but toothless plumbers on the South Side. So it's Cubs. The White Sox, that doesn't exist.
Okay.
That's like asking about the Giants, you know, when you're in Philadelphia.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't happen. But people, and the irony of it is, I live on the South Side now because I live in Oak Park, and it's the hardest thing because there's nothing but these asshole White Sox fans out there. And but you know, I grew up on the North Side, and I grew up with the National League. Is what it was.
Okay.
You know, when you grow up with the National League, you just never really follow.
Yeah.
The American League. But then but then as you got older, you know, then they started the Crosstown Classic and all that bullshit, and you know, every time, you know, they had parolee day, you know, at Comiskey Park. For anybody who came with the, you know, if you came in with your ward officer, you got a half-price ticket. you know, but. Or you can't, you know, they had, you know, it was one of those situations where, you grow up in the city and it's a straight barrier down the line in terms of Cubs or Sox.
Mm.
There's no in the middle. I never really got into the American League.
Yeah, me neither. I just can't stand the DH. I want to see pitchers hit. I don't know why.
Well, it doesn't matter what the White Sox, because even the regular players don't hit. So pitchers, hitters, nobody gives a shit. And then in that ballpark they got over there. But the thing about the White Sox is even when the White Sox are winning, the White Sox always got a bullshit excuse about why they don't go to the game. White Sox fans. There's always some bullshit. Oh, it's the traffic. Oh, it's the time of day. Oh, it's and it's like they never and I mean even when they were winning, even when they were making a run, there's still the attendance was in the toilet. So it just amazes me what colossal hypocrites they are when it comes to the White Sox. Always some bullshit. They're famous for their excuses about why they don't go to the game. Why you never can sell out at Comiskey. Saturday night, gorgeous night, they'll be playing the Yankees. 2/3 New York fans in there at Comiskey.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everybody travels well when they go to Comiskey Park. Whether it's the Orioles or the Red Sox, because nobody gives a shit. I mean, but then they got that announcer, Hawk Harrelson.
Oh my goodness, I know a little bit about him. Yeah,
he's like 200-year-old hillbilly. Still doesn't know what he's talking about. And the game is unwatchable when Hawk Harrelson calls a game. It's absolutely unwatchable. With his bullshit expressions and his half-ass, his logic about this or that, and he thinks he's some kind of a physicist. You're just like, man, I can't take this shit. You can't even watch the game. But, then the other side of town we got the Cubs, but the Cubs, it's the youth movement. They're going with these young guys, and we'll see. I mean, if they're competitive, finally. I mean, they've been rebuilding, but do you really got to lose 100 games to rebuild? Which is what they've been doing the last couple of years. They lost fucking 100 games. And it's like watching, AAA. I just, for the life of me, Peanuts, I still can't understand why of all the jagoffs you had over there, working with you on this show, how none of them, are around anymore. What's wrong with these fucking guys? I mean, what happened? Let's start at the beginning. Let's see. You don't have to worry about hurting their feelings. You don't have to hurt their feelings. I'll hurt their feelings.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't love you.
Uh-huh.
Because 2/3 of it. See, here's the problem. And you don't have to admit this, but I know it. Because believe me, I've been on enough times to tell when there's quiet people in the room. I know. So I don't know a lot of things, but I know when people don't like me. And I know that 2/3 of those assholes never liked me. They were too fucking highbrow. They thought they were Robert. They were Robert Murrow, where they were doing like CNN reports, for 60 Minutes, and they were curing cancer, and they were rescuing children in Cambodia, and they don't want to fucking talk to me. So half the time there was this silence of, oh God, he's so uncouth, that kind of shit. Like we're supposed to be talking about, like this is National Public Radio, and we're supposed to be talking about, the situation in the Middle East. Shit like that. But what happened to the Puerto Rican guy?
Well, he's down in Philadelphia.
And don't give me any bullshit.
Okay, well, he's down in Philadelphia. He's got a girlfriend now.
Okay. What's the guy's name?
Nice one. He still reads comics, still into comics, doesn't go to many shows.
Yeah. So what is he? He thinks he's George M. Cohan now? He doesn't have time to, he can't fucking call. He can't once in a while call in. Hey, how are you? How you been? What's going on?
Every now and then we get, I hear from him, and when he's got something to say.
Oh, wow. Thank you. He's fucking doing us a favor. Now, what about that other guy, the skinny fucking guy? Whatever happened to him? The guy who was like playing Bob Vila all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's of course. That's.
And the last time I saw him, he had all these fucked up earrings on and all this shit. What happened to this guy?
Yeah, I think that's Brian. He's still.
Yeah, he's in fucking. He looks like one of those Samoan guys from like the Bounty, where he's got the ear with the holes and the bullshit, and making his own tattoos and fucking wood and coconut. What happened to him? guy?
Well, he's
What's wrong with this fucking guy?
I don't know if anything's wrong with him at all. He's just, doing his own.
There's something wrong with him. I'll say it. There's something wrong with him. Listen, let me tell you something. Anybody that overdoes it with these fucking tattoos, there's something wrong with them. These piercings and these tattoos, it's a sign of a deeper fucking problem. There's something wrong with these jagoffs. It's like guys that like to stick shit up their ass when there's something wrong. Oh, it's just natural. No, it's not. There's something wrong with it. When guys put a plastic fist in their ass or something, it's not good. Now, if you're one of the guys that works for me, then it's, what are you going to do? But I mean, it's these other fucking guys that I'm talking about. All of a sudden, they fell off, and they don't want to talk anymore. What about the other fucking guy? The guy that had like 16 kids.
Well, of course, Shane, he's got his two boys,
Shane.
and they're doing.
He's always tan. Every time I saw him, he was fucking like tan mom. There's something wrong with him. He had that unnatural brown face every time I saw him. Like, there's something the matter with him.
Well, he takes care of his kids and they're in a lot of sports, soccer, baseball, basketball.
How many kids has he got? Well, all of a sudden, his Father Flanagan, he doesn't have time to call him anymore?
He's
That's
got
more bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually going to send you a nice message of why he couldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, right. Like he's doing me a fucking favor. Tell him to save the message and show up. Now, what about the other guy? The one guy that walked around like he was Hal from 2001, the fucking blonde guy that had the haircut like Donald Trump who never talked.
That's Adam. Well,
he looked like he had a hat on that was hair.
He's for the summer. He's down at Stone Harbor with his family's business, so he has to work.
He's down there getting stoned.
No,
what?
He's down in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. They have a business down there.
There you go. It sounds like the fucking knee-slapping good time. Where do they go down to the corner when the new magazines come in? Is that the highlight of the summer? Or do they go down and watch fucking paint dry? What do you do in New Jersey? There's nothing in New Jersey. There's a chemical waste. That's it. There's nothing there but three-legged frogs and a couple of Puerto Ricans that couldn't get jobs in New York. They go to New Jersey. Same thing. He doesn't have time to come out and talk about Jar Jar Binks and about, why Hawkeye is this and why Ms. Marvel gets cornholed by Calabash. How come? What, I'm not important enough?
I wish I could answer for you, Sal. I wanted more people here. I'm happy to talk to you, but I don't...
No. Listen, no. Don't take it as a slight. Because let me tell you something. Of all, it's like I figured. You're the only responsible fucking guy out of the whole group. They're all jagoffs. And when I see him, I'm going to tell them all. Every single fucking one of them. And then what about the other guy? There was always another guy who was there quiet and always covered his mouth when he laughed, that kind of shit.
Oh, we got so many people here. We actually
the guy that was on last time. There was a guy who was on last time. Not the guy with the 10 kids. Not the guy that fucking lives in Chemical Way. Not the Puerto Rican. Not the Tahitian guy. There was another guy.
There's only so many people we have here. We've got Chris, we've got Matt, we've got Kevin.
Matt. Which guy's Matt?
Oh, Matt's the private investigator.
The guy that was he was the carpenter, right? The blind guy, tall guy. Who's the carpenter?
Oh, Kevin's the carpenter. Yes, Kevin's the handyman, if you will.
Okay, and then who's the guy who is the private investigator? Did I ever meet this guy?
That's Matt. Oh, I'm sure you met Matt at some point. You've been to our show here a couple of times. I'm sure you've met him.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's the guy I'm thinking of. I can't remember. But it's like I said, there's so many assholes that when they come on the show, I can hear them in the background, like making popcorn, and trimming their toenails, and they're in the back watching fucking Backdoor Bonanza or some sick shit like that, and no one's got time to talk to me. And now that I'm coming on, because it's like what, you and I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a busy guy, but I make time for you guys.
Yeah.
These other assholes, all of a sudden, you turn around and they think they're barons of industry. They're got their feet up on a desk with a cigar, and they're all fat cats selling stock, and they're like running fucking third world countries. I mean, I've seen pictures of these jagoffs, all right? They're not busy. Trust me. Right now, I guarantee if you were to sneak in on any one of them, I guarantee you they're in a fucking stall somewhere playing with themselves. I have no doubt in my mind. that they're watching reruns of The Partridge Family, or one of them's, at 7-Eleven trying to figure out how to fucking get out the door with a Slurpee under his arm, or the other jag-off's in the back of an El Camino fucking playing finger banging Susie Rotten Crotch, or some sick shit like that. But they don't have time to talk to me. Okay, my feelings are, I want you to tell them this for me.
Okay.
My feelings are hurt. He said, go fuck yourself. That's what you want to tell them.
Okay. I will. I'm going to see actually most of them in a couple of weeks down in Stone Harbor, and I'll make sure I play this for them. And
yes. Sal said you guys are all jag-offs. And they're all on my shit list, every single one of them. They're all on the list. And if the Nazis invaded tomorrow and I had to point people out, they'd be the first ones I pointed out. I go, start with these jag-offs right here. I'm too busy. I'm too this. I'm a choreographer. I'm a banker. It sounds like they sound like the Village People. I'm an Indian chief. I'm a fucking private investigator. I wear a fucking helmet with hair on it. It's all the same bullshit. All the same bullshit.
I mean, I hear you, Sal. I mean, sometimes it's tough for us all to get together. Hell, I even missed a couple of shows,
Give me any of that shit. And the thing about it is we're all busy. We all got lives. But this is important. What's more important than sitting around, chewing the shit with your friends?
Exactly.
Breaking each other's balls. When you look back at your life, you're never going to say, oh, I wish I worked more, or I wish I would have fucking, you're going to say, I wish I would have hung out and had a good time with my friends and shot the shit more. I mean, that's the point.
That's true.
That I'm trying to make. I understand after Jamie went, it kind of took the wind, knocked the wind out of everybody's sails.
Yeah.
And, I get that. But, we got to move forward. If for no other reason than, that's what Jamie was all about, was breaking balls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thoughts of life right there. Telling each other to go fuck themselves. I mean, without that, what else is there? What? You want to talk about the Mets? You want to go, the assholes at work, oh, hi, how are you? They're all jag-offs. It's all the same shit. How's work? How's this? How was your weekend? Ha, 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 he. Nobody cares. I mean, those assholes I do with a Comic-Con, it's the same fucking 10 idiots every year. But, getting out with you guys, that's the only time I can actually, call people a jag-off. Because here at home, I have absolutely nothing. I have nothing.
Oh, man.
My kids, they talk shit about me in front of me. I've become that old fucking guy that they actually talk about in front of now. Why is he acting this way? Is what my daughter will say to my wife. Like I'm invisible. Like I'm not even there. Yeah, you tell people to stop it, and they dismiss you like you're that old fucking guy, who tells you, hey, you're like that button when you try to cross the street. You press the button. That fucking thing doesn't work. It's not even hooked up. It's all bullshit. It's all psychological. It's like the knob on the toaster. That fucking thing doesn't work. It's all bullshit. That's me. I'm the knob on the fucking toaster. I am. I'm like that piece of fucking Play-Doh when it rolls under the couch. You get the hair on it, and there's a fucking, shit stuck to it, a toenail, part of somebody's eyebrow, all that shit. That's what I am now. I'm that old piece of fucking Play-Doh. Turns hard, And so I can get on and talk to you guys, and I feel like I'm Merv Griffin. But without you guys, that's it. I'm just another fucking greaseball from the north side of Chicago. You tell them for me they're on my shit list.
I will do that. I will do that.
And I'm telling you, it might be a year, it might be 10 years, and I don't know when it'll be, but I'm going to run into them fucking guys. And I'm going to have some choice words for all of them. You wait. You tell fucking Brian for me that I'm really looking for his fucking answer. I'm really looking. And it's Puerto Rican choreographers. They're not, they're fairly easy to find. Trust me. That other fucking guy running around with the fucking ear where he stretching his earlobes and all that shit. That shit's going to catch up to him. Mark my fucking words. I work at a bank now, so I'm too civilized, and I carry a briefcase. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Is he going to do a Samsonite commercial? Are you kidding? You know? The other fucking guy, the guy that never talks. Okay, he never said much, but at least he was on the show. You know, at least he was kind of like, he would go, about every half hour he'd go, well, Sal, what are you going to do? That was it. That was his contribution. That was his way of saying, God, what an asshole this guy is. You know, I understood that. I know how to decode when someone's calling me an asshole. I'm very good at it. I don't allow myself the delusion of when someone's calling me an asshole to think it's anything different. And I know most of those fucking geek, jagoffs that used to sit next to you could not wait to get out of the fucking room when I was talking. They had one finger in their ass and then the other finger on the doorknob to get the fuck out of there when I was talking. I'm sorry.
No, that's fun.
I'm sorry. I'll be serious. I just, it just pisses me off. We had a good thing going here. And then you try new coke all of a sudden. What the fuck? This was a good thing. This was like, why do you want to fuck this up? And now, how often do you guys put shows together now? How does this work? Once a week, couple times a month. How's it work?
It's really hit or miss right now. Like I said, it's tough to get us all together sometimes. I mean, I've even stepped away for a little bit here and there, and I'm not on all the shows all the time. So we try to do at least one show a week now. We used to do of course we used to do 5 years ago. We try to do maybe 2 or 3 a week, but now it's tough to even get one a week. So we've been pretty good with the listeners. They've been pretty patient with us for the most part. But, they want to hear us talk. They want to hear you talk. They bug us about it. But there's not a real set schedule. There's whenever we can get together and have something to talk about, we'll do that.
Okay. No, I just figured, it would, like I said, it's a good thing, and I mean, I understand it. I know how, life changes and things are different, and I've got that problem even with friends of mine, where we just, close friends of mine, where you just don't see each other as much anymore. People get married, people have kids, people change jobs, and, life moves on, man. But, you also got to, there's certain things you really got to make an effort to, to keep together, to really keep it going, because it's important.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think this is one of them. I think, like I said, there's a lot of podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
There really are. But, most of them, I mean, the majority of them, I should say, are full of shit. There's maybe a hand, that's just the reality. I mean, not everybody, is meant to do this stuff. And not everything is going to work out that way. So, through the years, I hear from a lot of different podcasts, and you try to be nice and make things work and here and there. But, there's a certain dynamic, there's a certain chemistry, with you guys that's different than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it for over 10 years now. We're one of the longer-running shows out there, which is still amazing to me,
Well, and it's not, and you'll discover it's not as much about, the podcast as much as about the chemistry between people. I mean, that's the biggest part of it. And a lot of times that's the cool thing about it is just a bunch of guys, talking shit to each other. You don't always have to have this, this big, thick, important, self-absorbed agenda that a lot of these assholes have with podcasts. Too many of them they take themselves way too seriously. You hear some of the bullshit, and it's like, man, it's like Winston Churchill's, autobiography somebody's reading. And you're like, what? What are you guys talking about? What? Who? And they got this guy for 5 minutes, and then they got that guy for 5 minutes, and then you in the end you're like, I don't even know what the hell these guys are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's too bad you guys don't get together more often.
Yeah, yeah. But I will pass on your thoughts to them.
No, you listen. And if any one of them breaks your balls and gives you any shit or says, "Oh yeah," or you tell them, "Yeah," give them my phone number. Give them my phone number. 222 fuck you. That's my phone number. So. I'm not, what are they going to do? They're going to yell at me? They're going to hurt my feelings? Oh, man, come on. That ship sailed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just...
You mentioned the family and everything. How are you dealing with the summer with the kids being home? Because it's good to get them out of the house when they're in school, but...
It's hard, man. It's a lot of... in some ways, it's a scary situation because you want things to almost stop where they are. You just see how big they're getting and how they're getting more mature and they're talking to you and they got more ideas and they're turning into little people and and it scares you because you realize that that the time is moving quick and the shit's it's moving forward and we're all getting older, but. You don't have much of a summer when you got kids because you're always trying to juggle everything. And with my kids, forget about it. You got Montessori, and then in between Montessori, you got this and you got that, and you got break, you got barbecues, and my wife's always sending us up for some bullshit. And there's always some party or some girlfriend's coming over to pick up a bat, or someone's always got some bullshit. Last week it was a kid's birthday. I took him to Key Lime Cove.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like this indoor water park shit. This is just some kind of a cult, man. I'm telling you, these indoor water parks. Because you've never seen so many fucking bad tattoos and fat asses in your life. You're like, Jesus Christ. Every bad tattoo that people got in the 90s, when I was a bartender, has now come home to roost. Where, you're looking at these assholes and you go, what the fuck were you thinking, when you put a Days of Thunder, tattoo on your ass, in 1995, and now you got 3 kids, and you're trying to waddle your fat ass into a swimming pool. Now, mind you, I have no delusion. I don't look like, fucking Ricardo Montalban when I get in a swimsuit either. But at least you see these water parks, you're like, Jesus Christ, when did this shit start with these water parks? And everything, every time you turn around, everything's $100, and you got to have this, and you got to buy them that, and you got this. And it's with kids, it's never enough. 5 minutes after you leave, it's like, okay, where are we going now? What are we doing today? Well, and my father would give us $5 and send us to the show. I'd say, see you later. Come back in August. And there was no bullshit now where I'm constantly trying to play some asshole who keeps these kids busy. And it's impossible. Mm-hmm. And then, you got Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And, I got this, and I got to go out of town again next week. And then when I come back, we got, I got Toronto. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make Toronto. And then we're going to go on vacation in September because I lose most of my summer because of the shows. Mm-hmm. Because San Diego is 99% prep.
Yeah.
Getting ready for San Diego. And then you got the actual show. And then it was earlier this year. It was right after the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And so it kind of threw things off a little bit. And then, you turn around, man, and it's like the football's already starting. They're already in training camp. And we usually do vacation in September. We're going back to Disney this year, which is, back up the truck. When you go to Disney. Yeah. You come out of there, you're lucky you got a shirt on and a pair of pants.
Hey, now didn't I see?
I gotta buy Frozen dolls. And
oh my God.
And, and now my daughter is, my daughter's at the age where she talks back and everything is,
But I thought I saw you actually had a trip to San Diego with the family recently, didn't you?
We did that over spring break, and it was the longest 4 days of my life. I came back and I looked like Mr. Howell from Gilligan's Island. I aged like fucking 10 years because it was just, constant stop it, and they're fighting. And you get to a point, you reach a physical point, Pants, where you can't say stop it anymore. Mm-hmm. Where I can't say stop it anymore. Where I tell my wife, I go, I'm out of stop it. That's it. I used them all up. And, my mother, and that's the other way, you're getting older because, my mother, she's at the age now where she actually tries to deny that she used to beat the shit out of us. She's like, I never hit you guys. What are you talking about? But with your kids, you can't do that now.
Right.
Are you kidding? There's no way. But yet, you fantasize about it. You go, boy, well, I would love to just take, when these kids talk back to you, they want this or they say that. My mother would pick up a piece. She'd pick up like an ironing board or an extension cord, or she would take like the bars, that connect the Lady Kenmore, and she'd beat your ass with a Lady Kenmore. And you can't, they'll come and put you in a mental institution now, do shit like that.
Yeah.
But you think about it because these kids talk back to you. My daughter wants to tell me how to drive. I go, why are you going this way? Why are you going here? Mommy doesn't go this way. She goes the other way. Why don't you go the other way? Well, she actually told me, she asked me if I left my brain in San Diego, is what she asked me. Yeah. You love it? Isn't that cute? 4 years old, tells you left your brain in San Diego. Isn't that nice?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And it's, I only know it's only going to get worse. I'm telling you, I'm going to be living in fucking Brazil with the other Nazis that are hiding. I can't take it forever. I'm going to be with Charlton Heston, trying to clone Hitler or something. I can't fucking. They want to use me for like experiments and shit. Go ahead, I don't care. Turn me into Tiger Shark or something. I don't give a shit. Just anything. Just so I can get out of here. Okay, you got pointy teeth. Big fucking deal. But at least I can watch TV when I want. At least I can watch. Watch the game because you have no control over the TV now. It's all that SpongeBob bullshit. I missed the whole point. I missed the whole thing with this SpongeBob. I don't understand it. I was a Flintstones guy.
Yeah.
And I don't get SpongeBob. I really don't see the humor in it. Honest to God. I know he's crazy popular, but I just don't get it. I know at San Diego every year the SpongeBob panel is like one of their biggest panels. But my kids watch it, and I'm in the other room, and I just want to saw my head off. I really do. I want to fucking kill myself. Yeah, now they know how to DVR it.
Oh.
My daughter, I'll catch my daughter, and then my shows never make the cut. They delete my shit out of there so that they can make room for their shit. So if we were ever lost at sea, I'd be the first guy they would throw out of the lifeboat. There's not enough food for assholes. So Sal, get out. We don't got any room for you. I have no delusions. If my kids were cats, they would have eaten me by now. It would have been over a long time ago. It would have finished. If they were to make my son an emperor, he'd probably have me dragged off. You'd be like Stalin right away. I'd be in the hole right now, eating fucking bread and water. And every day I lose a little more power. Where when you say shit, they don't even pretend to ignore me anymore. They just ignore me. It's flat out. There's no noise coming from that side of the room. And, every once in a while you got to act a little crazy just to get them to remind you that, you're not this big a jag-off as they think you are. So every once in a while you got to say, okay, listen, I got Disney on the phone, and they said I'm not going. We'll stay home and cut onions, or something like that. Get your job. Get your fucking job somewhere. Just leave me alone. Don't have any kids, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm way ahead of you there.
Don't have any kids because I'm telling you, it's a cruel joke.
But
the shit we put our parents through, it's not even funny.
But, then you'll post a photo where there's a nice, welcome home from San Diego banner they hang up for you.
Well, it's usually because they need money. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, welcome home, and as soon as you're home, listen, how long is that suitcase going to stay there? Can we leave that suitcase there for a couple days? How long is that going to stay there? Okay, good, you're home, you got to take, you right into it. You jump right into the mix. You gotta take people to school the next morning, and you gotta do, and you're just like, you don't even have a chance to like catch your breath when you're back. And then every time I gotta go out of town, I am just absolutely get my balls broken to the power of 10. When are you leaving? When are you coming back? What's your flight number? Where you going? Why you? And they must ask you 50 times, when are you leaving? And you write the shit down, and they completely ignore you as you're saying it. They're ignoring you. They're already forgetting it as it's coming out of your mouth. So 5 fucking seconds later, it's like, when are you going again? When are you leaving? When are you leaving? And you just so fantasize about saying, "What? Are you fucking stupid or what?" If that's what you want to say. But when you're married, you can't say, "Boy, you really are just a fucking idiot, aren't you?" You can't. You gotta go, oh no. Here, let me write it down. Because if it was in business, you or it was somebody you were working with, you'd say, "What the fuck's the matter with you? Did I just tell you?" Did I? Because people they treat their friends better than they treat the people they live with. That's just human nature. I swear to God. But the difference with me is they're fucking with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Because you're playing poker with the wrong guy. Where if you want me to leave, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm out the fucking door. The whole sentence won't even be out of your mouth. And I will, whatever I fit under my arm on my way out the door is what I'll take with me. I'm not kidding. I mean, I travel like fucking Jason Bourne. I'll have an apartment with like a chair, and I'll be happy. I'll sleep in a fucking hollow log and drink muddy water. So don't bluff like, oh, you know what? Maybe we'll have asshole leave. Okay. You won't even get leave. You won't even get to the V in leave before okay. And you'll hear screeching tires. I'll be like OJ when they said not guilty. you just put a rocket on my ass and just light it. And I'll be just gone. And whatever I'm doing, you'll see me picking up garbage on the side of the highway, Pants, and I'll be smiling. Hey, Pants, how are you? How you doing? Get a lot of fresh air out here. Pick up a lot of hubcaps. Find a lot of beer bottles. It's nice. Just so they're not fucking with you. That's all I want. Not to be fucked with. You find your mail thrown in a corner. When I come back from the con, all my shit is on my chair. You push your chair in, Well, when I used to have a cat, my cat finally said, "Fuck it, I can't take it anymore." He killed himself. If the cat shit on the floor, they used to circle the shit in like chalk. And you come back after a week and it was still sitting there. And you're like, "You guys didn't clean up the cat shit?" They're like, "No, we were waiting for you to come back. It's your cat." I'm like, it's like a crime scene when you come back. They don't want to clean it up. So the pictures you see posted, that's all. It's like the pictures of food when you see McDonald's and shit like that, or a steak place, and then you go there and you go, "There doesn't look like this. Isn't it at all?" What the fuck is this? It's like when you order a prostitute, they show up at some fat broad, pimples on her ass. That's the broad on a website. You go, where's Pepita? The one that looked like Peter with a wig on. Where's her? And then Jesse shows up. Hair, and tattoos, It looks like fucking praying mantis or something. Looks like one of those real bad, like Ross Andrews Spider-Man villains, Grizzly or some shit like that shows up. That's my story, Pants. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I really wish I could cheer you up. But,
well, I mean, I enjoy seeing you do still post when you do your warm-up sketches. And what's your progress? I know you're working on a couple things, I guess, with Dago's on the Moon. Yeah.
You know what, man? I got a studio about 6 months ago. I got a studio. Best thing I did in 15 years was to get a little, because I had a studio in my house.
Right.
And we moved in, and it was fine. It was perfect when we first got married, when we first moved in, but now the kids are bigger. You just don't get any privacy. You just don't get any you can't get any work done here because, there's just too many distractions. It's hard to concentrate. So the studio helps tremendously, but it's in and out. I mean, I really, really, it's an enormous part of keeping my sanity and keeping, they say possession of your soul
Uh-huh.
is to be able to do your own work. But the problem with the business with Alex is it's gotten bigger and bigger, and that's a good thing. But it tends to move me a little bit further away from my work. But I still do it. I still have, I'm finishing up, the work I'm doing now with the hostage, and I've been working on it for a while. But I go in and out of these times of the year, especially where we just have so much shit going on,
Mm-hmm.
work-wise. And quite frankly, I don't make any money off the independent stuff. I don't really make any money off of doing my own comics
Mm-hmm.
because that was really why I did the independent thing anyway. It just wasn't, Marvel and DC just were not, my style wasn't conducive to what they wanted.
Right.
So if you're going to do indie books, it's great. It's very rewarding. I mean, I love it. I'll always draw and I'll always keep producing work. But, when you got a family and you got mortgages and you got tuition and you got bags of Doritos and you got all kinds of sick shit you got to buy, you got to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to balance the two. And it's like trying to ride 3 horses with one ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard. But I'm still, the studio's terrific. I mean, I go over there and I'm actually able to construct a thought that doesn't involve Romper Room or Rapunzel or some sick shit and, get some work done.
Yeah, because I know you mentioned I know you mentioned you had a studio at your place. I didn't know you got one outside your house, though.
No, I got one outside my house, but it doesn't really exist. It's kind of a mirage.
Okay.
So if you ever go, it's kind of like the phony moon landing. If you ever go to the door, it's really not a real building. It looks like something else. It's like that sign in the Green Hornet where they're kissing, and then it opens up and the car comes out. That's kind of like my studio.
Okay.
Because my wife's like, well, aren't you gonna? Why isn't your name on the mailbox? And I'm like, well, it's because where I bring my whores and do cocaine. That's what my studio is for. I go, my name's not on the door because I'm not expecting anybody to come here and fuck with me. That's why my name's not on the door.
Yeah, exactly.
My name's not on the mailbox. Because I'm literally like where they made Wolverine. That's my studio. Like down in some basement, big tubs of acid and shit like that. So people leave me alone. And if I could hire the Destroyer to work the door, I would. Keep the assholes out. Because you've got to be able to get some time to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You really do. It's just, as an artist, people think it's like, you're shining shoes or something. It's very hard to get any work done when you can't concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be able to concentrate. And, and not be distracted and not have to say stop it and put that fire out and, take that out of the light socket. And when you got kids, you're on fucking suicide watch constantly because they're constantly breaking shit and hiding it or testing electricity or seeing what flooding the house does or seeing what lighting shit on fire looks like. That's constant. Putting shit in the freezer. Remember when that was a big thing? My kids are at that stage. They put shit in the freezer. See what happens to it.
It's gonna freeze.
So I'll go in the freezer and I'll find shit all the time. I'm like, what the fuck is doing in the freezer? My son will be like, I wanted to see what happened when you froze it. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's nice. I don't think MIT's calling anytime soon. But hey, when it's your kid, you got to just go, oh, terrific, wow. I must say that 100 times a day. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing. Yeah, I saw it. You see, you see it the first 30 times, and you're like, I can't fucking see it anymore. You're like, okay, unless you're showing me like you're detonating an atomic bomb, I don't want to see. Don't show me anymore. But one of these days, Chance, I promise you, you're gonna call me, and it's gonna be, when did Sal move to like Alaska? Well, what's he doing? What's he doing over here? When? I'm gonna call us from like a satellite phone. What's he doing? What's he doing in Greenland? Because when I disappear, I'm not talking about just your regular average asshole that wants to hide. I'm talking like gone. I'm talking like where I'll put myself in a crate and mail myself to Tahiti or something. And I'll be living off coconut. You know, where I'll be like fucking Tom Hanks in Castaway, where I'll be way the fuck out there talking to a volleyball. And why he wanted to get off that island, I don't know. But he had it made. He had ice skates. He had a volleyball with blood on it, and he had plenty of food, and nobody bothered him.
Why leave paradise?
You want to wipe your ass against a tree? Nobody cares. It's great. Yeah, okay, you need porn once in a while, but that's it. Other than that, you don't need anything else. You know, you need dirty debutantes, you know, shit like that. It helps. Yeah.
Oh.
Vanessa Del Rio.
There's an oldie.
Old Randy Stryker videos with John Leslie. You know, you gotta live without that stuff. Peter North, God bless him. I saw Ron Jeremy at San Diego this year. Jesus
oh my
Christ.
God!
You want to talk about fucking 5 miles of bad road? He's got the sandals on, and he's got the fucking toenails where they're curling around.
Oh,
it looks like one of those. Yeah, where they're yellow, and I mean the guy. I swear to God, it's like he's about fucking 400 pounds, covered in hair, and you go, Jesus Christ, this is fucking Ron Jeremy. It's just, we're all getting old, man.
Yes.
It was a sight to behold. Let me tell you.
You can't unsee it.
He's a scary fucking guy. I mean, he's like, who doesn't remember the Hedgehog? But he's a scary looking dude now. Not that he was ever like, you know, caring for fucking wounded children, you know, in Ethiopia or something. He was always some jackass with a big dick. But hey, still, provided, you know, that series he did with Christy Canyon, that was like, you know, cinema gold. You got to wonder whatever, you know, if you ever run into Christy Canyon in a grocery store, I don't know what that would be like. Because I've seen pictures of Sika now, and it's not pretty. Oh, jeez. What happened to Sika? She looks like Tiziano, you know, too much fucking peroxide. And again, most people right now are going, who the fuck is Sika? Sika? What's Sal talking about? You know? The Sika goes back to like when the shit was still on 8mm. It wasn't even, you know, they didn't even have video in those days. You know? It was like the shit was still, you still had to go to the theater if you wanted to see an X-rated, you know. When you wanted to see the shit X-rated in those days.
Now it's in your home. Yeah, and wherever you want it, it's right there. Yeah, well, you know, you gotta, when you're married, you gotta learn to have everything. It's gotta be like, you gotta have layers of security, you know. You gotta have more. I don't know what you're talking about.
You always gotta approach everything as if the government is watching. That's the rule I go by. You know, if you decide you're just gonna get cute, then you got problems. They walk in, and I always make it seem like everything I'm doing is work related. My wife, what's going on? Oh, don't ask. Don't ask. I'm busy. I'm tired. You know. But you know, I mean, we remember the video store days, and we had the Korean on the corner. My God, it's like the Library of Congress. He had everything. Everything. There was not a sick, twisted movie that this asshole did not have. This guy. And he never got off the phone the whole time. I think in all the years that I've seen this guy, he never once got off the phone while he was thinking about it. And now those guys are all gone, and all those videos. It's hard to imagine that entire culture,
yeah,
the video stores, Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, and all the corner videos. There were hundreds of them.
Yeah.
My neighborhood. When I lived in the city, I kid you not, man, you remember what it was like. Pants within a mile of your house, there must have been 20 video stores. You know, they sprung up everywhere where they were renting, and that shit's all gone now. It's as if it never existed.
Yeah.
There's not a trace of them anywhere. Kind of like bowling alleys. Remember when you were a kid, how many fucking bowling alleys there were anywhere?
Yeah, you're right.
And I was well, I'm a little bit older than you, but when I was growing up as a kid, late 60s, early 70s, there were still like remnants. I guess it was enormous. It was at its height, in the 50s, right? Bowling?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, the height of its popularity was in the 50s. And I mean, my God, there were, the same story. There was fucking 10 bowling alleys in my neighborhood. And now they're all, every single one of them. They tore every one of them. Same with the video stuff. I mean, it's the type of things you're going to tell you talk to kids about, and they're going to look at you like you're fucking crazy. What? Video. What's this asshole talking about? That's why I wonder, when we're doing this Beatles stuff, and it's a generational thing, you wonder, how much of it is still out there. We know it, but, you wonder how much time has moved on. How many people fucking remember, one day at a time?
That's right. Schneider.
Yeah. That's me in San Diego every year. I'm like fucking Schneider. The suspenders and everything. Pool belt, Back when you wanted to give it to Valerie Bertinelli, Who didn't want to give it to Valerie Bertinelli?
That's right.
Now you see her on TV selling shit, and she looks like my Uncle Maisie. Selling that shit with Cindy Crawford.
Yeah.
Where it's a watermelon, and you put it on your face or some bullshit, and it makes you young. I mean, who feeds this bullshit? I mean, not that I wouldn't give it to Cindy Crawford, but I'm just saying that they try to sell you this shit. There's always some guy in France that discovered it. It's like, who believes this bullshit? If there's some asshole, he discovered that, hey, you know what, guys? There's this juice out of a melon. You put it on your face, then everything's all great. And you look like Cindy Crawford. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's like 150. And these assholes, they line up. Make money handle with this type of shit. But I'll tell you what keeps me watching, Cindy Crawford.
Yeah.
Still looks good. Tremendous. But Valerie Bertinelli, I don't know what the fuck happened. Too much of that Van Halen bullshit. Yeah, I remember when she was on One Day at a Time. Every kid in my high school wanted to slip it to Valerie Bertinelli. Were you a Valerie Bertinelli guy or not so much?
Yeah, that was about
or the broad from the Fall guy.
Oh, Heather Thomas.
Heather Thomas.
Yes.
Heather Thomas. And she had a big drug. Did she have a bad drug problem?
Oh, I don't know her that well.
No. That was the story on TV. Was yeah, it was that's the only reason you watched the Fall Guy was because of her. Remember that bullshit with that horrible show with Lee Majors?
Yeah.
Heather Thomas. What a fucking tomato! Ow! Jesus Christ. Back when you'd get that excited about broads, you'd see them and you'd go, man, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, yeah, hey, how are you? It's like, you just go, hey, how you doing? You think of all the bullshit. You go, I don't want to put up with bullshit. Let me go get a sandwich. Leave me alone. When you're younger, you move heaven and earth. You're like, oh my God. When I would get in, and now you're just like, yeah, I ain't gonna put up with this bullshit. Leave me alone. I just want to, I got some back issues of Thor I gotta catch up on. Stop bothering me. When you're younger, you're like, oh my God, it's the center of your universe chasing broads, and then you get to a certain age, you're like, fuck this. Who's got the energy for it? You get married, and your wife, talks shit about you in front of you, and goes out with her girlfriends, probably a Chip and Dale's. I'm like, yeah, have a good time.
Well,
that shit don't bother me. I know my wife sees guys, younger guys, and check, go ahead. What are you going to do? I'm not a young guy anymore. I get it.
But you've been married, 10 years now?
10 years, man. 10 years. I mean, I love my wife, but like I said, I have no delusions. You get to a certain age, you understand, there's always younger guys, not better shape, they got the fucking six-pack and all that bullshit. I'd say, hey, this is it right here. Settle in. Because this is who I am, and I do the best I can. But I'm not gonna knock myself out if it's not gonna. I see these guys where they're not even married, and it kills me the shit that they go through over women. And it's like, you don't have any kids and you're not even married, and a girl breaks up with them and they're ready to fucking kill themselves. It's like, guys, that's the only time you get that upset is if you got like a lot of investment, like a family and kids. If I'm going out with a girl and she said, listen. Sal. Because it always starts with the deep breath. You get this. Sal. It's just, I don't know what to say. It's just that, I just feel like, okay, you wouldn't even get the whole thing out. And I'd be like, bye. Life's too short, man. See you later. I love my wife, but when you get to a point where you get along, everything's great. I have no complaints. The situation with my wife is terrific. We get along. How the fuck she puts up with me? I have no idea. I have no idea. Because the one great thing about being a jagoff is you're really well aware you're a jagoff. You don't. I know I'm a jagoff. And I know my wife thinks I'm a jagoff. She probably, right now she's going, what is that asshole talking about? But, you also reach an age where you go, hey, I'm doing the best I can. You got to be a good father. You got to be a good guy. But, it doesn't always mean it's going to work out. I know a lot of guys that are divorced. It doesn't always, it's not always a happy ending. And you got to just do the best you can, man. How our parents did, I don't know. With all the kids and the money problem, times I guess were a little bit simpler then. But then every generation says that, right? Mm-hmm. That it was simpler back then, and blah blah blah. The world my kids are growing up in, man, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. With the access of information that they have that we never had. When you want to do a book report now, everything you just Google it.
Oh yeah, jeez.
There's no more fucking, you used to have to go get the card file at the library.
Get the
all that bullshit.
Encyclopedia Britannica, oh, yeah.
Yeah, those days are over, man. They look at you now like you're crazy when you say that shit. I'm like, what? Encyclopedia Britannica? When I cleaned out my mom's house, she had like the World Book Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine? These kids today, when you said you got to break out the World Book Encyclopedia, they look at you out of your fucking mind.
Well, the idea is always, I thought you want to make the world a better place for your kids, so they don't need all that stuff.
I don't know, man, but then the problem is once they start going to school, they see all the shit the other kids have,
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's like I was saying, when the beauty of it when they're little is, they're young, they got the innocence of just being, kids and you could be. And then when they get around other jagoffs at school, that's what happens. They get around other kids, and then they hear other kids' opinions, and they take those opinions as verbatim. You got to be a little bit lucky too, man. You got to hope the kids don't hang around with assholes. When I was a kid, I made that mistake. I hung around with a lot of jagoffs, had a lot of trouble. And you could be a good kid, but you hang around with the wrong idiots, man. It makes all the difference in the world. Look at you with those assholes you hang around with.
Yeah.
Look at Peter. What happened to him? Look at like Tiziano. He used to be a nice guy, and he moved to Canada. Hang around those fucking guys running off. What's going to happen to you? So what are you going to do the rest of the summer, Pants? You got anything exciting planned, or is it just the same bullshit?
Nothing too exciting. Just like I said, I'm getting away to a couple conventions. Like I said, I'm going to a convention in Connecticut. I'm going down to Stone Harbor to see a bunch of the guys in a couple of weeks. Got to go to Baltimore for a convention. Got to go to New York for a convention. It's me. It's conventions and work, pretty much.
Now, are you working at the cons, or are you just going to the cons as a civilian?
No, I'm just going as a civilian. Well, I mean, I'm going to Connecticut and Baltimore and New York as civilians, but I'm actually going to be setting up. I mentioned I'm going to do a show outside of Philadelphia. I'm going to be setting up, selling all my toys, and but I want to do the show in London next year. Actually, be working the show in London.
Oh yeah, right. You still working with those guys?
Oh yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Their 5th show is happening next February. 5 years. It's pretty good. It's growing every year. And when I'm over there, I pretty much look over a lot of the artists and, sort of like a gopher and, take them to their panels, take them to their signings.
Yeah.
So I get to talk to them. That's great, just hanging around the artists all day long.
What artists are usually out there off the top of your head?
Well, let's...
All British guys?
Well, no. The idea of the show is to have sort of an American convention experience in the UK. So, because with, Brian and my contacts, and I go to so many shows, we can get some U.S. guys to go over there. But you'll see some of the UK... Oh, well, Sienkiewicz was there last year. Actually this year. It's still 2014. So, we brought Sienkiewicz over. They had John Romita Jr. over this year. Art Adams. Every now and then, Brian Boland, since he's over in the UK, he'll come over. Jonathan Ross, who's, big in the UK, is over there. We had Tim Seeley over there. We've had Mike Norton over there. A lot of guys you probably know. And just, it's a mixture every year. You know how it is. You try to get new people on the show every year to get people to come back and, buy their tickets and, spend the money there. But it's fun.
Yeah, I've seen it, and man, I love London. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. And I was there 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah, is that when they lost your luggage?
Yeah, no, I was there. I stopped through on my way back from Italy.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to be doing a lot of stuff over there now because the Beatles agreement we have is the UK also.
It would be wonderful to have Alex Ross come to a London show. I'm just saying.
saying. Well, like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more stuff in the UK because our licensing agreements all involve the UK. Because how are you going to do the Beatles if you don't do the UK?
Well,
and no, we're excited. The Apple, the people who've been dealing with Apple, the main office is in London, and
yeah.
So we'll probably be doing a lot of stuff out there.
Well, if you ever do a convention for comics, you know who to talk to.
When is it London, the one you do?
The one we're doing, it's in February right now. It's February 20th and 21st next year.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's getting bigger every year.
Oh, yeah.
Bigger every year.
Yeah. That's the idea.
Well, some of them are bigger, but, bigger isn't necessarily always better. It all depends.
That's true.
I've been to some shows, and then they get bigger, but then they just add more T-shirt guys. You guys, how many fucking T-shirts do we?
Yeah. Well, this show is mostly about comics. Comic creators, artists, writers.
Where is it now? What part of is it in London or the outskirts?
It's just in the outskirts. It's at the Excel Center, which is I'm not sure. I don't know the geography too well. It's about an hour and a half tube ride from Heathrow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. And I know they treat you guys real well.
Oh, yeah. Well, we work pretty hard there at the show. Brian does a lot of work for them with their website, and I do, some work for them at the show and before the show, getting creators. So it's fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of hot broads in London, too. No, I always thought it was tremendously underrated, for women. Most people, you never hear about London. And when I was during 9/11. I flew into London that morning.
Oh, wow.
9/11, and I was stranded there for 2 weeks. I couldn't leave.
Wow.
And man, you as an American, you hear a lot of these countries are your allies and this and that, but man, oh man, I was treated like a king when I was over there. They were so nice and so genuinely, forthcoming about in a difficult situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people were opening up their homes because a lot of people were stranded.
Yeah.
There was like 300,000-400,000 people at the airport that were stranded, and people in London and England were opening up their homes. But everywhere I went, man, I couldn't pay for a beer. There were people buying me beers. like I said, I was there 2 weeks, and no, I love it. Plus, it's a great city anyway.
Yeah.
Great old city, a lot of art, a lot of great old stores. It's getting expensive. It's changing a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely becoming a lot more, lot pricier. And I know a lot of people have had to move out of London. It's just gotten too expensive. But oh no, it's a world class city for sure. New York and London, it's like Paris too. But there's something really magical about places like London. Of course, when I was a kid, that's where all the monsters were. So they always everything was with fog, and then there was werewolves. You were going to get your throat ripped out by a werewolf.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. People forget all the classic monster movies were always set in London. It's like all the superheroes were in New York, but all the monsters were in London.
Mm-hmm.
You never see any of them, no? When you're there, you never see any. You didn't see, Mr. Hyde or anything.
No, Jack the Ripper. No, didn't see him.
No Jack the Ripper.
No, I actually went on a Jack the Ripper walking tour where they took in all the sites of the murders and everything. That was really interesting.
Yeah. I went on it because I had nothing to do when I was there, nothing. Right? And I went on, and I remember one of the sites where a lady got killed was like a Starbucks there now.
Oh, jeez.
You're walking in, you go, jeez, Starbucks. So I got a throat, got cut up right here in front of Starbucks. And because a lot of those neighborhoods back in the day, that were like the Whitechapel district, which are like the worst parts of London. That's all gentrified now.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to try to imagine, what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
But still, good time. I did that same tour. People were like, "Oh, come on, it was so touristy." I'm like, guys, I was there 2 weeks. I mean, and a lot of the museums were closed. I mean, I was running out of shit to do. It was terrible. All right, man. Well, listen.
Yes.
Did we run out of time or not?
Well, I got plenty of time. It's up to you. See, I'm off tomorrow, and I had a nap today, so I'm ready to go.
You had a nap?
Yeah, I'm an old guy. I'm up.
There's nothing wrong with that. Listen.
Up in the morning, and
There's nothing wrong with naps. Let me tell you something. I go to my studio sometimes, and you start out with full of piss and vinegar for all this shit you're gonna do. And then you sit down and you're like, what the fuck? You wake up at 4:30. And you go,
Yeah.
You close your eyes and you go, Jesus, what happened? Because there's nothing wrong with a good nap, man. I'll tell you once in a while. Especially after you're tired, you turn around. I wake up like one of them fucking woolly mammoths sometimes, where I wake up with my coat on and I fall asleep. Keys in your hand, food in your mouth, and you're like, what the fuck? And you wake up and you're like, you're passed out. Because you had that kind of a day.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't apologize for it. You're like, you work hard, you're tired, shit catches up with you, especially as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, fuck it. Play Teddy Bird Ted.
Yeah. But, Sal, it is always a pleasure to talk to you, whether if it's just me or anybody else.
Listen, I don't want to make it seem like I was, that I can't talk to you without them. I'm just saying, like I said, I just don't like it when these jagoffs, they give you this, oh, I'm too busy bullshit. It's like, what's that supposed to mean? What does that mean, you're too busy? I mean, who the fuck are you? All of a sudden, you're too busy. They turn into Henry Kissinger all of a sudden. No, Sal. It's not what you think. I got rehearsals or some bullshit. It's like, oh, cut it out. Menstrual cycle, okay, I understand.
Well, hopefully I'll get to see it.
Now, where do you? I mean, honestly, where do you see things going in the next, couple of years at the show? You think it's gonna?
Wow.
You gonna keep it together, or?
Well, there's so many comings and goings. Like I said, I've already left once and come back, and taken a sabbatical every now and then. We actually added a new cast member recently. We added Danielle O'Brien. She used to work at Wild Pig Comics. She's writes a web comic, and our first female geek we added to the show. So we're expanding the roster. So you know, you have your cycles. You go up and down. You go up and down. We had our 10-year anniversary. I don't know if people still listen to us and we can get enough guys, you know, doing the show, want to keep it going. I can't see us stopping, really. We have fun at it. Sometimes it's a lot of work, but bottom line is it really is a lot of fun when we get everybody together here.
Wait a minute now. Who is this broad you had? What?
Danny O'Brien. She's been on the show a couple times before. You know, she, like I said, used to work at a comic store. She writes a webcomic, and you know, friends of ours
Irish
for
broad?
years. I'm sorry?
She's Irish broad. Irish
Yes,
broad?
yes.
Oh,
Irish
all
broad,
crazy.
yes.
You got to be careful. Those Irish broads are all crazy. You got to be careful. You know, it's like nothing but fucking drinking. And, you know, that St. Patrick's Day bullshit. They lose their mind.
Oh, she's very nice.
Yeah, and how many shows has she been on?
Oh, well, we only had her on recently as her first official show, but she's been on, I don't know, maybe half dozen times over the last couple of years. We made it official to actually put her into the rotating geek membership.
Jesus, what is this world coming to? I'm telling you. Jeez. Now, how long have I been gone? I mean, I've been gone about over a year, right?
About a year. I think it was like sometime last August we had you on for our 1500th episode.
So you got enough fucking piss and vinegar here to bring these crazy Irish broads on, but you can't have me on.
Oh!
How the fuck does that work?
We'd have you on all the time, Sal.
If I had one more jag-off nag me about when I'm going to be on this show, but I mean in a bad way. They were yelling at me like, Sal, what are you doing? You're a big asshole. You don't go on the show. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What did I do? I mean, I never hear from those guys anymore. I don't know. You guys were like, you know, you guys were living in South America or something. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Well, I hope.
I said, guys, I got nothing to do with it. You know, I mean, I'm like, whatever happens, you know. I mean, if they ask me to go, of course I go on. But, you know,
absolutely.
like you're saying, things change. Rosters change. People move on.
Yeah.
You guys weren't having the show on as much, but I think it was it after San Diego, like a year ago? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was like last August, after San Diego last year.
Okay. Okay, yeah, now I remember.
Oh, now who's yawning now? Come on.
No, I'm not. I'm yawning. Are you kidding? Because I get up every morning at 6 o'clock with these crazy bags.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yawning. That's not yawning. That's exhaustion. Yawning means I'm tired. Tired means you just, let me lay down. Around here, are you kidding? As soon as I lay down, somebody needs a glass of water. Something's under somebody's bed. You know, my wife's yelling about some bullshit. It's always something. You know. And, you know, it's like you try to ride out summer, man, but no matter how much you plan it out, you turn around and it's Labor Day. It goes so damn fast. It's unbelievable. Summers. And then the next thing you know, the weather turns to shit and you're right back at it again.
Yeah.
You know, you go outside and it's like the tundra. You know, you gotta run to your car. Oh, Mr. Pants, I can't thank you enough for having me on.
You're always welcome, sir. I hope to actually see you in New York at some point. We'll have to get together and maybe do something together while we're up there.
Yeah, I'll definitely be in New York, for sure.
Very good.
And now, are you doing the podcast alley? Or are you doing
they actually got rid of that last year, so there's no more podcast alley up in New York. So I'm just there walking around as a civilian.
Hopefully, you're better off. You don't need
Yeah.
to jack up. They don't appreciate you, then you don't need it.
Well, you know, needed the space for bigger things, I'm going to say. And we had a good run up there.
Yeah, so be sure you say hi to everybody when you see them.
I will do that, Sal.
Yeah, I see Jamie's sister once in a while on
Yep.
Facebook.
Yep.
So, you still in touch with his family at all? Or how's that going?
Oh, yeah. Actually, Jamie's dad is going to be coming down to the toy show with us and selling some of Jamie's toys. So we get to see him there and hang out with him.
Yeah, I remember Jamie's dad. He's a nice guy.
Oh, he's a hell of a nice
teacher.
guy. Yep.
Teacher, right?
Retired school teacher. Yep.
He looks like one of those pain in the ass school teachers too. You know, like the guy that beat your ass or something. Oh, he does. I remember when I saw him, I was like, I thought to myself, gee, do I got any papers I got to hand in? Or did I, I'm like, did I get in that book, that last book report, or what the fuck happened? Because when you saw him, he just got that look on him like he's ready to take you. Like, I got to go back to high school.
No, he's a sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah, like I said, I still see, his sister on Facebook once in a while.
Yep.
And I guess she's got a big family, right? A lot of kids.
Yeah, she got 3 kids, yep.
Oh, jeez. I thought I had that. 3 fucking kids.
Yeah.
God. They should give her sainthood. 3 kids. I got 2 and I get my ass kicked. And like 3.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Pants.
All right, Sal. Have a good one.
Man. If you ever need anything you need, just give me a holler.
Absolutely, Sal.
Don't be shy.
I won't. You take care, sir.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Have a good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Good gosh. Throughout the years, like I said, things come and go, people come and go. Sal was one of the guys I just could talk to forever, and I thank you to all the listeners who, wanted to have him come on the show, asking him, asking us. I hope you enjoyed this show. I really do. It was a lot of fun. And if you ever at a convention where you see Sal, by all means, go up and say hi to him and just tell him how much you love him, or call him a jack-off, whatever you want to do. All right, everybody. Well, that's all for now. Join us next time on Comic Geek Speak.